Hey, what is up internet? It is Xackadee and I am Xackadee making another video. I am just making a video because someone asked if I could give my thoughts on some, recent Kingdom Hearts news, just all the recent Kingdom Hearts stuff. And I've said that I would, and people have asked before if I would, and I thought, you know what, I would actually really love to just sit down and do a classic talk to the camera about Kingdom Hearts video. So that's what I'm going to do for anyone who's still following me. And yeah, look at that, it's Xackadee. I still exist. I'm back from the dead. It was fun being dead, but I did get bored. So I'm back to make another YouTube video about Kingdom Hearts. So I'm just going to be giving my opinion on recent Kingdom Hearts news, or things that have come out since my last video. I have not made videos in a while, haven't I? I'm going to put some stuff in the description. There'll be timestamps pointing to the different categories, so if you just want to hear my opinion on X, or Y, or Z, which aren't Kingdom Hearts games that exist yet. Just look in the description if you want to know what specific point in the video you need to skip to get past all the boring stuff that you don't care about, so you can get on to the more interesting opinions that I have to share in this video. Time is short, I'm going to have to be very quick about this, just very busy these days, and yeah, I guess on that note, I'll first start with, where have I been? I'm sure many people will be skipping this one. I kid, I know you hate love me. I've been doing an internship. I did say something about that the last video I made, which was a Q&A video, or it was an introduction to a Q&A video. I said if people want to ask me questions, I'll answer them in a video. And I recorded a video for that. I did record my answers to all of the questions that I was asked, and then I just didn't make it. I'm like that. I will plan videos, I will record videos, I will then not edit them, and then they don't get made and they don't get uploaded, and there's just this awkward limbo. And that's kind of the situation. I've been like so many times throughout the months, I've thought, I have all the footage, I could make the answer to the Q&A video, but it feels awkward to make it now that it's been so long since I asked the question, or people asked me the questions. So it just feels weird, and it happens with a lot of video projects I make. It's kind of why I'm so inactive a lot of the time, because it's not that I don't have ideas, and it's not that I don't try to make videos, but the progress I do make then just falls so far behind because I'm such a procrastinator and I'm just not great at getting around to editing videos that in the end I'm just like, you know what, it feels weird to make the video now. If you want to see the Q&A video, let me know and I'll maybe still make it. And if you want to know about the internship, there'll be a link in the description. It's a group called Speak Life. It's a YouTube channel here on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's Christian creative media, so very Christian thing. I am a Christian, I don't really talk about that much, but I am. And yeah, it's a bit of Christian stuff, but it's also a bit of digital media stuff, and it's kind of putting the two together. It's making YouTube videos, filmed content, story writing, creative stuff, lots and lots of creative stuff, and doing it primarily for Christian media, but in general it's also just good for the technical side, learning about filmmaking and things like that. I'm learning things about cameras and lighting that I never knew I didn't want to know. It's good though, no, honestly, it's a good course, and it's gonna be hopefully a stepping stone towards a proper career at some point in the future. Don't ask me what that career is, I don't know yet. I'm going to start looking very soon. I've only got like one more term left. We've got Easter holidays, which is gonna be nice. Anyway, let's get on to Kingdom Hearts, that's why you're here. So that's my update. I've been just busy with that, and in the meantime, I have actually done the unthinkable. Yes, I have actually caught up with Union Key and Dark Road. Sorry, Union Cross. I forget, Kingdom Hearts Key. The name Union Cross, Dark Road, Kingdom Hearts Key, the Keyblade War thing that they made with the chibi art style, the terrible mobile game that I have constantly derided and made fun of and criticized and disliked. So, it's pretty good. I quite like it. To be clear, I still hate the art style. I still hate the way they went about it. I still hate that it's a mobile game. I still hate the mobile game itself. I think it was a terrible way to do this. It's been a terrible way to implement it into the series. There are still so many plot details that are just impossible for a casual fan to catch up on without going on YouTube, which is just so annoying. I really thought Kingdom Hearts was past this, and they've done it again. And even when you understand it, there's a lot of details that are hard to keep up with. So it's frustrating in terms of accessibility, but in terms of the actual story, I gotta admit, I quite like it. It's pretty wild and random and weird and strange and has all this intricate, complicated stuff going on in it, but I quite like it. It's a good mystery story. It's a good sort of unraveling of all this stuff and all these characters and threads that sort of come together and also split apart. There's a lot of ambiguity to it, which I really like. Who's right, who's wrong, who's good, who's bad, who's doing the right thing, who's not, and also just what is going on as well. There's also a lot of speculation and theorizing that you can do about it because some parts of the story are kind of vague even now, with a lot of it already being confirmed. I will say I like it, but at the same time, characters like Ventus being included, as well as, you know, Marluxia and Larxine's like original forms, them being key characters in the story and giving them this origin from like centuries ago in the Keyblade War, I just don't think that was necessary at all. I mean, maybe it'll pay off for Marluxia and Larxine. Ventus, at the very least, completely unnecessary. He does not need this origin story. It just doesn't do anything for him. This Ventus in this story could have been anyone, could have been any other character, and it feels like it's just there to cash in on recognizable faces so that people will more lap it up. And also the fact that Marluxia and Larxine have very different personalities from what we know them as is interesting in a sense, because hey, it's prequel stuff. Sometimes it's kind of cool to be like, hey, this character's different. What changed? How did they become the way they are? In this particular story, it just feels forced and not very well explained. Maybe Dark Road will get onto that, I don't know. Or maybe a future Kingdom Hearts game will. And it's just frustrating that if you want to understand all of this, there's just a lot to keep up with. I mean, again, I really thought Kingdom Hearts was kind of done with this whole phase of being so hard to follow and understand. So that kind of bugs me a bit. The other thing as well is that it's kind of come full circle. Remember in the original Kingdom Hearts 1 when it was, there is light, there is darkness, light good, darkness bad. That's it. That's the story, that's the themes, nothing more to it than that. And then later games, starting with Kingdom Hearts 2, I think, really started to say, you know what, maybe darkness sometimes, not that bad. Actually, no, it was Reverse Rebirth. The very next Kingdom Hearts game, Chain of Memories, gave us this entire plot arc with Riku that was like, actually, darkness, if channeled correctly, can be used for good. Great, so now there's lots of elements of grey to it all, and that's fine, that's cool. Honestly, that works for me. I mean, it's kind of interesting to take that in a new direction and explore that with other characters. It's not something that Kingdom Hearts has handled too well. With Union Cross, it explains that all of this, every single thing that has been part of the Kingdom Hearts series since its inception, is like all part of this long-running conflict between the Master of Masters and 13 Darknesses. Let me say that again. The Master of Masters and 13 Darknesses. What do I mean when I say 13 Darknesses? Do I mean people who are light and dark? No. I mean darknesses. Literal manifestations of darkness. Literal darkness itself is the main villain of all of Kingdom Hearts in 13 forms that are formless, but can inhabit forms and do things. On the one hand, those 13 darknesses are really cool. It's like this archaic, ancient enemy that is as natural as nature itself, and that's really cool. It's like fighting the incarnation of sin. You know, that's awesome. That's fascinating. It's also very bland. It's also very much black and white. And it's funny, the series has come full circle. We are now back to where we began in a sense because darkness is bad. And the Master of Masters has done everything he's done in order to rid the world of these specific darknesses. And he knew it was doomed to fail according to the Book of Prophecies, and Kingdom Hearts 3, rewrites that because of Sora using the power of waking, which is really cool actually. It's literal history and reality getting unwritten and rewritten before our eyes in these games. That's cool. It's ridiculous and super complicated, but it's cool. Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell. But yeah, I guess, I don't know, the complexity that the series was starting to build up seems to have been a bit undone by that, I think. Darkness has just gone back to being the baddie. And we just have to beat the baddie, and then we all win and everyone's happy. Can't really argue with that, I guess. It's fine. Like, it works for Kingdom Hearts 1, it works for the series now, in a sense. It's just... It's not news to say this, nobody's gonna gasp with shock and die of fright. Stop the flippin' presses, but you know what? I think Kingdom Hearts should have been planned out a bit more. Don't quote me on that. I don't want people thinking I'm crazy for suggesting it. And Dark Road is nice, but it's a story that should have been told ages ago. It's interesting, and I know it's going to play into later plot lines, I'm sure, involving the Master of Masters and Lucio and all that, but like, it's just kind of Xehanort's backstory, and it's a bit late for that. Not that it's bad, it's good, but like, it doesn't add anything. It's just kind of pointless. It's not bad, it's interesting, but I don't know how many more times I can say that. There's nothing more to say about it, really. Let's move on. So let's get on to the next one. A lot of people have asked me about the Remind DLC. And it's really good. Moving on. Okay, seriously though. The Remind DLC, like, I don't really know what else to say about it. Like, honestly, everybody's kind of already said it. If you know the Remind DLC, you know it's good. And if you don't, then you don't. I mean, I guess some people maybe don't like it so much. Look, I think it was obviously drawn out a bit. I think it should obviously have existed in the original game. I think it was drawn out a bit to make it feel more like a DLC, that you're really getting your money's worth. But a lot of it is just kind of rehashing the story of the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and that's not the best thing to do, but hey, it is what it is, and honestly, it's okay, it's fine. I'm not complaining too much about it, because overall, it's really good stuff. I like being able to play as the other characters. It's cool to get this other perspective of Sora using the power of waking, to get all this lore and explanation, to finally actually properly see Namine, and to hear her say and do things, and, you know, clarify what a lot of people missed, because for some reason her one role in the original base Kingdom Hearts 3 game was optional. Why did they do that? Yeah, no, it's good. And of course, Kairi got so much more respect in this one DLC than she did in the entire original Kingdom Hearts 3, and by and large, the entire Kingdom Hearts series. But yeah, no, it was really awesome to get to play as her. And also Mickey, his moment in the sun was awesome as well. I loved that moment where you got to play as him and the music swelling. You know, they really gave us a lot with it. It was really cool, really flashy. They only added so much, but it was definitely good stuff to add that clarified so much Kingdom Hearts 3's story that should really have been in the original game. That said, I'm not complaining too much. I still really enjoyed it. And then there's the boss fights. To this day, I've only beaten like 3 of them. I was going to go through them in order, and time got away from me, and I just haven't gone back to the game in ages. It's not that I don't love Kingdom Hearts, it's just that it's hard and time-consuming, and I don't have that time anymore. I don't like being an adult. And also, Yozora is awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing whatever the heck he is. And obviously, it's bringing up a lot of old Versus 13 stuff, and I'm kind of fine with that. I seem to be very out of focus right now. There I am. Thank goodness that Kairi is treated like an actual character, and a pretty awesome character at that, for once, at long last. Bit overdue. I don't really know what else to say. Remind is good. It's just old at this point, isn't it? I've left it too late. It's been so long since it came out. It's been a while since I even played it. So, you know, funnily enough, an entire Kingdom Hearts game has come out and been released in the past while, and I imagine most people have kind of forgotten that it exists because it's a rhythm game that is largely a recap of the entire series plot. But let's talk about Melody of Memory. You know what? I like Melody of Memory. I like it. I like a good rhythm game. I've played all the like Persona dancing games, and they're fun. Mostly I play them because I like to see the characters interact and do things. But seriously though, like a well-designed rhythm game can be really fun and really engaging and really challenging. And yeah, Melody of Memory, it's definitely a well-designed rhythm game that is really challenging. And I'm such a flippin' perfectionist. I try to like go for like the hard stuff. I'll probably put some footage over the background of this of me like playing Melody of Memory, and like you can kind of see what my playstyle is like, I guess. And it's like I try to achieve, I try to go hard and make it like as you know, achieve as much as possible, get all the stars and everything. And it was a game that stressed me out, is what I'm trying to get at here, because I'm just overachieving. None of the time until you get to like rhythm games, and then suddenly I'm like, I must win, I must do everything right, I must do everything super awesome and unlock everything. And it's Kingdom Hearts. I mean, the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack, if any game series, any game franchise deserved a rhythm game, it was Kingdom Hearts for absolute sure. Mixing in a bit of plot stuff that focuses on Kairi was a very nice cherry on top of this game that was ultimately not the best when it came to how Kairi was handled, because she ended up going into a dream sequence where she fought Master Xehanort, and then Sora took over and she got the back seat again. Again! Like, for crying out loud, it's a dream sequence! We don't care if she can beat Master Xehanort in a fight. Let her fight! Let us play as her! Even in her own game, we play as Sora! And we never play as her! Can we just process that? It's like they're doing this on purpose. It's annoying. Characters, just let them flourish, let them be something new, let them grow. This could have been an opportunity for Kairi to go through some training, but no, the training comes after this game. Kairi's treatment makes me so tired, man. Just so tired. And now it looks like, and the way the game ends, like, it's dropping a new lore bomb on us, and it looks like the next game is going to be about Sora and Riku again. Probably piloting Sora and in one place and Riku in another. I feel like we're getting another Dream Drop Distance. And I love Dream Drop Distance, don't get me wrong, but the problem with it is it's the Sora and Riku show, and Kairi doesn't exist in the game, even though she absolutely should. It's a little thing, but it's a little thing that shows how you treat your main characters. And for me, characters are so paramount to storytelling. And the way Kairi gets handled, it just constantly takes me out, it constantly kind of spoils the experience a bit, and it just like builds up this like male friendship, puts all this emphasis on them. It's like, it's frustrating. Like it's the most like feminist I ever get seems to be about Kingdom Hearts, which is just really annoying to me most of all, I'm willing to bet, honestly. It's just, why? But like, treat your female characters better. Stop making her a damsel in distress. Stop insisting that she needs all of this training that no male character has ever needed. It's just, she's getting another training arc. Okay, it's with Aqua. Yes, good, very good. Why the heck did she go through a whole training arc in the Kingdom Hearts 3 to go through another one now? When is it going to end? They're constantly moving the goalposts with her, and it grates. It grates to see with anyone. Kyrie's just getting the short end of the stick so much that it just bugs me out. I did not want to start another rant when I made this video, but here we are. On that note, how about we talk about the future of the series? Where's the series going forward from here? Apparently it's going to a fictional world. One that inhabits a video game that Sora and Riku encountered. Well, Sora encountered in the Toy Story world. And Yozora, the main character of the game, is going to be a main character, Master of Masters at some point. I'm curious and afraid. You remember what I said earlier? You know, that shocking suggestion that maybe Kingdom Hearts should have been planned out a bit more. That's one problem that I think Kingdom Hearts faces. I think the other one is, when it comes to lore, and I always say this, the story of Kingdom Hearts isn't as nearly as complicated as the lore. The story is simple, the lore is super duper over the top. Kingdom Hearts keeps adding lore. It keeps adding lore. It keeps adding more and more stuff onto it. You know, there's a point in most series where it's like, okay, you know, there will be occasionally new magic spells or whatever that you'll discover. There will be occasionally new realms that you'll encounter. But, you know, generally, the rules of the lore have been laid out. The rules of how this world works, how you travel around it, how you engage with it, what magical fantasy elements there are to it. There is a point most of the time where it stops and it says, okay, now you know this, let's go have an adventure in it. And you know, maybe you'll discover more of it as you go, but like, it's still always a part of the world. It's not constantly, with every new installment, adding more stuff on top of it, like, at least not to the same extent that Kingdom Hearts does. I think we all remember where we were the day that time travel got introduced to Kingdom Hearts. That was a fun day. I just think the series needs to take a step back. You have so many things already, you know, the different worlds, the barriers, the heartless, the nobodies, the unversed, the dream eaters, which are apparently all people. Thanks Union Cross for that. Not an origin story we needed again. You know, sometimes it's fine. It's fine to just say, hey, this is a natural part of the world. You know, there's a realm of dreams, and in this realm, these creatures naturally inhabit it. Spirits and nightmares, both a form of dream eater. That's the species that exists here, and they consume each other in a never-ending cycle. Like, that's fine. That's all we need. We don't need to know where one of them came from. Like, I mean, why did that have to be a thing? Why did that have to be a connection? Why did the main character of Union Cross have to be Xehanort reincarnated? Why is that suddenly relevant? It's just so over the top, the amount of additions and reveals. And you know, for some people, it blows my mind, frankly, that some people felt this way when it was revealed that Ansem was actually Ansem's apprentice back in Kingdom Hearts 2. That's not a big deal. This is a big deal. The stuff that's happening now is a big deal. And we're about to enter into fictional worlds. That could be really cool, and I'm not against it, but like, I think the Kingdom Hearts series has already done so much to itself, and can we just please stop trying? Can they please stop trying to blow our minds? Nomura needs to calm down and just focus more on the story and less on reinventing the world. It's like he constantly has this need to experiment in a massive way in this series that just causes everything to kind of collapse in on itself. It causes old elements to be forgotten about. We've got replicas running wild. We've got time travel bringing things all over the place. We've got all these old characters and all worlds and world order and Keyblade lanes, hearts and I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest, like, if my voice sounds like it's going, it's because I kind of spent like, I'm alone in the studio where I'm interning right now, and I kind of spent like the hour that I intended to spend recording this making silly voices. That's an insight into my soul you didn't need, but now you have it. Do with it what you will. I hope you are happy, because I am not. I'm sure the future of the series is going to be interesting.
So, of course, right before I upload my thoughts on the Kingdom Hearts series and the future of it specifically, right before the 20th anniversary, I drag a little bit too late, and of course something is announced on the 20th anniversary. So now there's something new to talk about, and what point is there in making this video if I don't address it because it's fresh news and I'll just be out of date automatically by default? Why does this keep happening to me? Because I'm slow at doing things, and that's just, it's a real thing. Anyway, I'm going to go watch this and see how it goes. What is this going to be all about? Oh, why did I do that? My eyes, they're moisturising so much now. So yeah, the new Kingdom Hearts announcement was so radical that it completely changed my location. What do you know? Magic is real. I mean, kind of literally with that trailer. What? First of all, I just want to say quickly, finishing Dark Road, obviously. Missing Link, from what I understand, definitely looks like a very necessary story. It's obviously the missing link between the mobile games and the present day series that, you know, the series started with. Does it really have to be a mobile game? Can we at least get it on something else? I don't like mobile games. I don't like mobile gaming. Can Kingdom Hearts please stop making mobile games? Because they have critical story importance, and it's just so annoying how often we have to go through this. But apart from that, Kingdom Hearts 4? I mean, I don't... What is there to say? There's not enough for me to really form any valid opinions on, like, how good I think it's going to be, or... I mean, it's obviously interesting. It's obviously a very new direction, and yet it's obviously still staying true to the characters. We've got Sora and Donald and Goofy. They're still core to the story, if they're appearing in the very first trailer for it. So, you know, positive hopes. And I mean, I think I said this when I recorded my pre-announcement reaction, but like, anything could happen, and still feels that way. Anything could happen. This could be kind of anything, but it's 100% very interesting, so, you know. I'm psyched on a technical level, if nothing else. It looks amazing, and you wouldn't expect anything less from the game that's following on from Kingdom Hearts 3, so that alone is going to probably be worth playing. But for now, story-wise, I got nothing. It's just cool, and you know, hopefully it does the series justice, but I'll only have more to say when there's more to see. Also, I'm not sold on Sora's new look yet, but I mean, it's a new setting, and you know, in the same way that he changes outfits for all the different Disney worlds, maybe this is a new kind of visual format for him in Quadratum, so it could be temporary, it could be, I mean, I doubt it's permanent, but it does make me wonder if this is what Sora looks like in Quadratum, what are Riku and Kairi and the rest gonna look like? What are Donald and Goofy gonna look like? I mean, hopefully still themselves. But that would just look even weirder in such a realistic setting. And you know what, now that I'm really stopping to think about it, this is interesting. It's very interesting. And so we can talk all the live long day about it in the comments. Right now, my mind is still swimming. It's still fresh in my mind, but it's cool. It's interesting. Not totally sold on it yet, but it's interesting. I mean, as I say, it's still very early. There's still too hard to tell for sure where things will go. But I will say right now, I think this game is a series that the developers still very clearly care about. In a very convoluted way of how they execute it all, but they do try really hard to make something great with every installment. They're always trying. I think they need to really take a step back. I've said that before and I'll say it again, and I probably will keep saying it, but I am glad that it's in their hands because they're giving us an experience unlike anyone else would give, and in many ways that's a good thing. So yeah, I've still got a lot of hope and love for this series. Just want to leave that as the note for Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm excited, and I'm not sure yet if I'll watch any more trailers, but I'll keep you posted.
I'm gonna follow it for now, but I gotta be honest, I'm at a bit of a tipping point. I don't think I'll ever completely lose interest in the series. I still care about the characters, and as long as the characters are handled well, I think I'm willing to endure whatever wacky shenanigans Nomura puts us through. But I think I'm reaching a point where I might just stop trying to understand it. Like, I've tried to understand it so much, practically built my channel on understanding it. I'm just kind of reaching a point where I don't care anymore. I'm here for the characters, here for the fun, here for the story. Not so much for the lore. The lore is kind of shooting itself in the foot a lot, as far as I see. So I'm kind of okay if I don't really follow it anymore. But still follow it, because I still care about the series. And on that note, let's get on to the final category, the animated series. We're getting a Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus animated series. That's cool! And I really hope it's good. Yeah, as for the series itself, could be cool, could be amazing, could be disappointing, could be bad. I'm going to watch it either way. Whatever becomes of it, I'm going to watch it. I think one of the things I'm most curious to know is, if we're getting an animated Kingdom Hearts series, what's the art style going to look like? What kind of, how much cartoony versus anime are we going for here? Or is it going to somehow do what Kingdom Hearts 3 did, where it's like, wherever you go, like, the art style just works. And, you just kind of adapt to work with it, Kingdom Hearts is a lot of things, and crossing over to the point where you've got Utada Hikaru making a collab with Skrillex, and that's one of the coolest things about it. It's crossover central, and I would kind of love it if the animated series, even just in its art style, managed to incorporate that in some way. Maybe that's asking a lot, I don't know. I just think that would be cool. I'm not expecting that much, I'm just speculating. Art is going to be a thing, when it comes to the art and animation of an animated series, especially based on a series like Kingdom Hearts, which is so colourful and vibrant in terms of everything that's in it, every one that's in it. So, art style is weirdly something I'm kind of curious to see about it, and I would love to see done well, especially animation. I mean, there's got to be some fighting in it, magic, things like that. I mean, hopefully that looks flashy and cool and fun and exciting, the same kind of fast-paced thrill you get when you play the games. So, yeah, that's my kind of hope for the animated series. That, and of course, it's probably going to be some kind of soft reboot, right? I mean, it's got to be an adaptation of Kingdom Hearts in some way, but there's no way it can be Kingdom Hearts through and through, like the story as we know it, one-to-one. It could be. I think a part of me is really hoping for a soft reboot. I kind of want an incarnation of Kingdom Hearts that is, planned out, and, knows its universe from the beginning, knows its story and characters from the beginning, and, accordingly paces things, accordingly, incorporates these things together, and maybe is a bit more thought through. I would love that. I would love to see a story of Kingdom Hearts that just goes its own way. I wouldn't want it to be too divorced from what we know, but I would love to see a Kingdom Hearts series like the original planned Kingdom Hearts series that never got done, which is an interesting story to read about. And also an annoying one. I would love to see a Kingdom Hearts series that does its own thing a bit more and gives us something new but old. Yeah, I'm very okay with a reboot, basically, for an animated series, Whatever it is, I'll watch it, hopefully it'll be fun, and we can talk about it more later. So there you go, there is Xackadee making a video. What is my life? There's my thoughts on Kingdom Hearts. I'm very much out of time at this point, so I'm going to have to wrap up the video there, but thank you for watching. If you're here to watch, catch up with me and hear my thoughts on things. Goodness knows I have way too many of them, and I don't know how to enunciate them properly. But here we go, talk to my Kingdom Hearts again. That was fun, been a while. I really should have done this when my throat was feeling good, or at least when I had like a drink of water or something to work with. For some reason I just didn't do that. I don't do these things. You do those things because they're smart things to do, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you some other time, and you'll maybe catch me whenever another video comes up in another 15 months.